Destiny overall is a pretty successful game, reaching millions of copies on both the Xbox and PlayStation consoles. Myself included, I have a nice love and hate relationship with the game. Many nostalgic moments have been created in the last 2 years of this game's release, but of course at the same time there are many things that I do dislike about the game, but I try to keep that past me because I just enjoy the game a lot and I am a loyal supporter of this game with the community as well. But even though it could be a very successful game and really bring a lot of people in to this game to play, there is still many things wrong with the game at the moment, especially in the second year of its release. So, my name is Pollock, and today we're going to be covering 5 things that are still wrong with Destiny. So number 1 on this list has actually been prevalent in Destiny since its release, and that is the lack of content in the first place. You can't really blame the developers completely for this. It is because the genre itself is like that. You could maybe say it's my opinion specifically, but I think many people could agree with me on this one, that Destiny does lack a lot of content in the first place. I feel like the developers aren't really working to their full potential to bring the most amount of content for the community to actually enjoy, because really with Activision behind them really trying to pick out as much money from the community as possible and completely milk us with all the money in the world from DLCs and stuff along those lines, they can't really put in the content that they maybe were planning on doing since the first year of Destiny. Right now, literally, it's just the same old stuff week in, week out. It's just a weekly cycle of the same old stuff, and I'm surprised I even continue playing it every single week, because all it is really just Nightfalls if you want to do the King's Fall raid, and then there's Trials of Osiris on the weekend, which is the only thing honestly for me that is actually keeping me playing that game every weekend, because that's actually fun in all honesty. Well, of course, the grand solution to this problem would be, alright Bungie, just create more content for the game. How hard could that be? Well, first of all, Activision are just trying to milk out as much money from us as possible through the major DLCs. Literally, the last major DLC we had was the Taken King, which was in September of 2015, and almost 1 full year later, we're awaiting Destiny Rise of Iron, which is going to be $10 less, and honestly, I feel like it's going to fall in the same pattern as the Taken King did. It'll have a good amount of content that'll last for about a week or two, but then we're going to be back to square one with the same old stuff, repetitive, day in, day out, going back to that weekly cycle. But there is a solution to this. See, they did somewhat do this with the April update. They brought back a couple things, they reskinned some things from year 1 and brought it into year 2, and they actually brought level 40 editions of the Prison of Elders. Why can't they have done that to the 2 raids that were in the beginning of Destiny in year 1? They should reskin Vault of Glass and Crota's raid so that they can make a level 40 edition of it, bring back those items you got from those raids so they'll be able to be used in year 2, and now there's gonna be 3 total raids to do in 1 week. You could do Vault of Glass with your friends, Crota's raid, and of course the King's Fall raid, which is at the moment. Isn't that a really good idea? But unfortunately Bungie don't really want to listen to the community, which we'll get into, and it just sucks honestly, because there are many potential ways and lots of opportunities that Bungie could bring in content in the easiest way possible so that we could do stuff every single time. And some honorable mentions in the top of my head that I can think of, they could bring in daily challenges every single day on Destiny that will maybe take about an hour or 2 to complete a day, so that there's actually something to do every single day instead of doing the same old stuff. That way you could actually do a lot of things, because you know, you don't want to make it like running errands. You want to actually have fun playing Destiny. Don't make it like a chore, something along those lines, if you get what I'm saying. You guys can put down your thoughts in the comment section below about number 1. Now number 2, you could also say has been with Bungie since its release, and that is their problems with balancing weapons. Honestly, it's been so many times where they would release a bunch of weapon patches upon weapon patches, and still what usually would happen is that one thing will become really overpowered and then one thing will be completely useless. There's nothing that's actually balanced out properly. That there is no guns that are really good based off, you know, the situation that you're using them in game, specifically in PvP. Like right now in the moment, like if you go to the primary weapons, like the only dominant auto rifle would be the Doctrine of Passing, because it's just a spray and pray weapon. Pulse rifles, you just got like the PDX and the Hawk Saw. Then you go to the scout rifles, you would just say Mida multi-tool most likely. Sometimes you might see something like the Colvitz's Duty once in a while. And then if you go to, for example, the hand cannons, you would go to the First Curse, you would go to the Last Word or the Hawk Moon possibly. Like those guns, you know, they're obviously really good, but there's many weapons that are just below average. They're not really balanced out well. Like they can't fight off, you know, these type of weapons, which is a problem with the gun balancing in Destiny. It's just not relevant with certain weapons. It's just no point of having certain legendary weapons or even certain exotic weapons that don't stand out, and then these specific weapons are actually standing out. Because like if you go now to like the special ammo weapons, you have a bunch of shotguns, and I feel like the special weapon category is the most terrible when it comes to the gun balancing, because literally all you see now when you play PvP, you would just see shotgunners upon shotgunners when they do a rush strategy, especially when I play Trials of Osiris. You would obviously see snipers, but the only 3 snipers you would see would be Longbow Synthesis, 1000-yard stare, and the LDR. And like they need to bring out weapons, either create new weapons that could actually compete with these weapons, or they need to tune down those specific weapons and at least balance it properly with every other weapon so that they could actually become reliable, because that's just the thing that they've had problems with since the release of Destiny. They can't really actually balance out the weapons perfectly, so that the weapons that are like exotic, for example, are going to be unique based off, you know, what their perks have and, you know, in what situation. You guys get what I'm trying to say here. But, you know, they could work on it a lot. You know, it takes a bunch of weapon patches to do it, but like at the moment in year 2, it's still not the best. It is better than it has been in the past, but it's still not in a really good full potential. Now, number 2 is pretty much relevant now in year 2 of Destiny. It's become a lot more worse now present day, and that is the Bungie servers at the moment, and they're honestly just completely whack. And I'm going to show you guys this story just to back up this claim. 2 days ago, I actually played Trials of Osiris again because it came back this weekend. It was Firebase Delphi. I played with the team on Destiny LFG, my first passage. We were doing really well. We played our final game to go 9-0, and in the middle of that game, we were getting like messages saying contacting servers, because at the moment Destiny servers were being whack. And all of a sudden, we won that game and we got our rewards. And what happened was we were supposed to get the 9-0 like animation, and we were stuck at the same win that we started with. And then at the end of that, we literally got disconnected from Destiny. The Destiny servers completely just crashed on both the Xbox and PlayStation 4. And then all of a sudden, I come back hours later and I get a loss for that game that I actually won, which is really ridiculous. They can't really take care of their servers, and it's annoying because this happened many times before. They've actually had trouble with just patching things and like fixing bugs for a while, because they would actually have to like cancel Trials of Osiris and Iron Banner because of certain bugs that they can't actually patch in time. And it just sucks that they can't take care of their servers properly and their firewalls with glitches and exploits. They need to really work on that, because if this is going to be a weekly thing, honestly, it's going to be like Destiny's going to be unplayable. Number 4 is a pretty minor one, but I want to state it in this video. Where is private match? You know, a lot of people have been suggesting that Destiny creates some sort of private match so that you could play with friends on whatever game modes in the Crucible, so you could say practice or have fun and play some exhibition matches. And you know, I think they could be able to do it. I'm not sure though. It would be awesome to see it happen, but this is just a minor thing I want to add on, because I feel like if they added this would of course boost up the amount of content that you could do. There's going to be more fun on Destiny, and it really just supports number 1's problem that I stated in this video. And now finally, number 5 on the list, and it does tie in with all the last 4 things I mentioned that is wrong with Destiny still in year 2, and that is Bungie's lack in listening to the community. Say for example, if they did fix all 4 of those things I mentioned before number 5, you could say that Bungie is listening to the community, because there are things that are wrong and that the community is requesting to fix or requesting to suggest, and they don't listen to it to the full potential. They really only fix things that will benefit the community in terms of actually getting more money in their pocket, because of course with Activision behind them, you know how business goes down with them. They're gonna just try to get as much money from us, but really they're not listening to us to the full potential, and they could do so much more with the game to actually make it enjoyable, to be able for us to play it every single day and not be bored of it, not be repetitive. And really, if Bungie could just propose a mutual relationship between them and the consumer, they could be able to make money off the game and at the same time be satisfying the customers that they'll be coming back for more and more. And that's how it really should work in terms of business in the gaming community, and really just in reality. But that, guys, are 5 things that are still wrong with Destiny in year 2, and it'll be awesome if you guys could comment down below anything that I did not mention in this list that you think is still wrong with Destiny. I'll definitely interact with you guys there. And if you did enjoy the video, it would mean also a lot if you could hit that like button and also subscribe for more videos like this one if you did enjoy it. But that's even my time for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Block, and I'll see you guys all next time.